Welcome everybody. I'd like to thank everybody for coming tonight, and I'd like to start tonight's meetings with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. Again, I'd like to welcome everybody to our Lockport Township meeting tonight. Tonight we'll start with our roll call of officers.
Mike Wendowski.
Here.
Tom Madison.
Here.
Ronald Rico.
Here.
Dean Morelli.
Here.
Barb Boyce. Here. Don Chewinski.
Here.
Lance McCullough. Here. And Jerry Mueller.
Present.
All right. Thank you very much. Everybody should have received in their packet for the Road and Bridge minutes for the January 11th regular meeting. I need a motion to pass the minutes.
So moved.
I got a motion by John Badisich.
I'll second it.
A second by Barbara Boyce. Are there any questions in the minutes? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you very much. You have the bills for the Highway Department tonight of $80,649.18. We need a motion to pay the bills for the Highway Department.
John, just two things.
Yes.
The Menards, looks like a project going or something, and the Big R, the uniforms.
Yes.
Is that something new or?
No, well, the Big R is new because they're new in town. The guys get $250 a year of clothing allowance, and then we were using working gear. Well, Big R gives them half price on all the clothes, so basically they got like $500 worth of stuff for the $250. So because they're new in town, we set up an account, and I heard about that program, so I gave them their choice. They can go to either one, and well, yeah. And then what was the Menards?
Menards, yeah.
What is your question about?
Earthquake, just the amount.
We finished painting all the floors. We epoxied last year we epoxied the first two buildings, kind of. It's like a horseshoe over there. The last building we just got done doing, and that stuff's $100 a gallon. And takes, you didn't see the new stuff, but you saw last year's. So we finished that going all the way around, and it's two coats. It's got the paint chips and stuff, so yeah, it helps preserve the floor, keeps the place clean. So that was I would say 90% of that is that. Oh, and actually we painted all the walls in the whole place. So it was just maintenance, general maintenance on the building.
Okay. I need a motion to pay the bills.
So moved.
I got a motion by John Badisich,
I'll second it.
seconded by Barbara Boyce. Any other questions of the bills? Hearing none, I need a roll call.
Wendowski.
Yes.
Madison.
Yes.
Rico.
Yes.
Boyce.
Yes.
Morelli.
Yes.
All right, motion passes. Mr. Selinsky, your Highway Commissioner's report.
Thank you very much. This is, as we all know, most people know, this is the end of our fiscal year, the end of this month, but this is our last regular scheduled meeting. Things went great. We had another great year. I just can't thank the guys down there enough. They've done a great job. When I took over, my goal was to try to save $1 million in 4 years, and we're really close to that after 3 years. We put that sidewalk rehabilitation program in place. That was very successful. We did not advertise it because we only put $5,000 in to try it and see how it works. We had a lot of people take advantage of that, so we're going to continue that. We're going to continue to pave the roads with that money that we saved, and the biggest thing is upgrading our equipment. I know that first year when I was here, I showed you some of the pictures of the older equipment. So we have we're kind of upgrading our equipment as we go. So I don't think I'm going to hit the $1 million mark, because according to my plans that I've kind of moved forward with, we're going to need to probably buy a couple of pickup trucks before the 22nd, before this year. Then that money will be spoken for. And then next year will be the boom mower. And we're having a lot of trouble with the older big trucks. We had a transmission go out on our 6-wheeler. So I'm waiting for the bill on that. That's probably $10,000 to $15,000. We're starting to get into the older trucks are starting to kind of cost. So hopefully next year we'll be able to get a boom mower and possibly one of the bigger trucks. And I am getting MFT money for the first time since I've been there. We paid down the debt, and it looks like with that MFT money, we'll be able to pay quite a few roads. I've still got to verify that I have the money that they say I have. And if I do, then you'll see some pretty big swatches in the town being improved road-wise. So, you know, overall, it was another great year. Very proud of the guys. And I want to thank you guys for all your help. I want to thank the guys downtown. Did a great job.
All right, thank you very much. Citizens wishing to address the board? Seeing none for the highway department. I have no other business, and I don't think we need to go into an executive session. I would like to recess this meeting because it is the fiscal year, end of our fiscal year. The way this works, I'm sure the board remembers, we have to recess these meetings and reconvene them to pay the rest of the bills at the end of the month that come in for February. So we can end the fiscal year with everything being paid, and we'll start again March 1st, with our new budgets. So I'm asking to recess this meeting until February 22nd, 2016 at 7 o'clock in the supervisor's office, room 310. I need a motion.
I'll make that motion.
I got a motion by Barb Boyce.
Second.
I got a second by John Badisich. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Nice have it. Thank you very much. We'll be moving on to our general assistance. Tonight, again, in your packet, you should have received the minutes for the January 11th regular meeting. I need a motion to approve the minutes.
Make the motion.
I got a motion by John Badisich.
I'll second it.
I got a second by Michael Lewandowski. Are there any questions of the bill, or I'm sorry, of the minutes for general assistance? Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you very much. You have the bills of $5,201.45. I need a motion to pay the bills.
I'll make that motion.
I got a motion by Michael Lewandowski.
Second.
I got a second by Dean Morelli. Are there any questions of the bills tonight? Hearing none, can I have a roll call, please?
Lewandowski.
Yes.
Badisich.
Yes.
Albrico.
Yes.
Boyce.
Yes.
Morelli.
Yes.
All right, motion carries. Again, I have no new business for general assistance or old business in general assistance. I would ask for a recess until February 22nd, 2016 at 7 o'clock p.m. in the supervisor's office, room 310.
Make the motion.
I got a motion by John Badisich.
I'll second it.
I got a second by Barb Boyce. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you very much. Moving right along. We're going to our senior fund. Again, the minutes for the general, for our January 11th regular meeting. We do need to get them approved.
I'll make that motion.
I got a motion by Barb Boyce,
Second.
second by John Badisich. Any questions of the minutes? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you very much. Approval of the bills of $11,308.52. Need a motion to pay the bills.
One question. Refresh my memory on the Kankakee Community Services.
Kankakee Community Services, I don't have that bill in front of me, I'm sorry, I got kind of mixed up here with things, but I will tell you.
Emergency.
That's Meals on Wheels, emergency. When Joliet used to have it, they reorganized and put it up to bid. And Kankakee Services now takes care of all the Meals on Wheels and all the emergency meals. So that goes to Kankakee now.
I believe she came in and addressed us.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, she was here last month to address us. Very good. That was Julie, I believe, Carco. I do need a motion to pay the bills.
I will make that motion.
I got a motion by John Badisich.
Second.
Second by Dean Morelli. Any other questions? Ask for a roll call.
Lewandowski.
Yes.
Badisich.
Yes.
Alvarito.
Yes.
Boyce.
Yes.
Morelli.
Yes.
All right, motion carries. Under new business, I just want to bring everybody up to date. We have our buses. We did have a bus breakdown. I think it was Friday. We had to have it towed. It was the fuel filter or something, fuel line, something, fuel pump, I believe it was a fuel pump. And it got towed, and they're working on that right now. We did try to get the van that we usually borrow from Brendel's when the bus goes down. That van was unable to be used, so today, actually one of our bus drivers used his personal car to bring people to pick up. So we had the one bus in Crest Hill and a car on this side. So we're going to get that bus, hopefully tomorrow. We're going to, if we don't get a bus back, we're going to rent a van for a day or two until we get the bus up and running. It got towed from Reynolds and it went to the Chevy dealership because they couldn't fix it at Reynolds. So just to bring you up to date.
Ron, when we bought those buses, I mean, did we have some kind of warranty on them or anything?
Actually, that's why, and now you're saying that, it was brought to my attention today, the reason Reynolds wouldn't fix it, because it is under warranty. And it's under 100,000 miles, so it had to go to the Chevy dealer to get fixed. That's why I was told there. But those buses are, we did buy those used. So I'm going to, we're going to go through our budgets. We'll try to figure out what we're going to do in the future with the buses. I have no other business in senior fund, so I'd ask tonight for a recess until February 22nd, 2016 at 7 o'clock p.m. in the supervisor's office, room 310.
I'll make the motion.
I got a motion by Barb, Joyce.
Second.
Second by John Badisich. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. There's my senior fund. Okay, going into the town fund. Tonight you have your minutes of the January 11th workshop and the regular meeting on January 11th. I need a motion to pass the minutes. I make a motion. Motion by John Badisich.
I'll second it.
Second by Michael Lewandowski. Any questions of the minutes? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, thank you very much. Everybody should have gotten a new agenda tonight in from their original packet with the new bills on it. There was a mistake on the first agenda. The bills are $121,202.24. I do need a motion to pay the bills.
I'll make that motion.
I got a motion by Barb, Boyce.
I'll second it.
I got a second by Dean. Any questions of the bills?
Yeah, Ron, I do. The defibrillator, seeing that finally came in, it was $1,285. Is that for the one unit?
That was for the one unit. And I know you weren't here last meeting. We did present that to a representative from the Knights of Columbus.
Right. That's awesome. Well, with that, would it be something if we get more requests of those, and if we want to buy them to get a discount, maybe have them on?
Well,
Is that something that?
I would have to probably refer that question to John, since we got it kind of through the fire department, and he works for the fire department. But we have in the past, before I was the supervisor, bought, I believe only two, maybe three defibrillators, one for, I think, Caroline, one for Caroline Lakes. And now we did it for the Knights of Columbus because they were doing programming at both St. Joe's and St. Dennis churches. They're doing a lot of senior stuff. We don't get requests that often, so I don't know if we buy them, it would be worth it. We got a lot of requests, I guess we could look into that. But I don't think we're gonna be starting to get into the defibrillator business, to be honest with you. But if we can do it, and it's in our budget to do a project like that, I think it's a good thing to get the defibrillators out there in case of an emergency. You know, these are pretty much self-explanatory, so anybody can work them. Any layman, if somebody does have a heart issue, it's pretty simple to follow. Pretty much talks you right through it. So if we can save one life with those defibrillators, it's well worth the money to me, anyway, my thought. All right, any other questions on the bills? We had motions, right? We did get both motions, okay. So, roll call then.
Lewandowski?
Yes.
Armitage?
Yes.
Alarico?
Yes.
Boyce?
Yes.
Morelli?
Yes.
All right, we're gonna bypass the assessor's report since she's not here tonight, or the clerk's. We are gonna have some from the clerk's report.
Just a quick reminder to residents that the Lockport Township Clerk's Office is going to be having early voting hours for the March 15th, 2016 general primary election. That'll begin on February 29th, and it will run through March 12th, 2016. Monday through Friday, hours will be 9 to 4. Saturdays, it will be March 5th and March 12th, 9 to noon. So we encourage and look forward to seeing our residents come out and early vote.
All right, thank you. Moving on to trustees' comments and suggestions. Do we have any comments or suggestions? No? All right. Central Square report. In your packet, everybody had received the intergovernmental agreement for the resolution of the Intergovernmental Agreement Association that for the Central Square. Basically what this is it's dissolving Central Square. Now that we're going to be moving out, we bought a new building. We will be leaving this facility here, a beautiful Central Square building, but we are going to be moving out. And this dissolves the partnership that we've had since 1979, I guess, or 1980, I think is when the Central Square Committee started. This is a draft, the first draft that the attorney from the city put together. I forwarded it to our attorney, which he had some questions. And he, if you want to speak, say what you want to say, otherwise I can explain. So you might do a better job.
No, probably not. I did have an opportunity to review it. I did contact Tom Tanis, who's the attorney for the city of Lockport, and I had an extended discussion about some of the issues and concerns that Ron and I talked about months ago. Long story short is that there's only really one remaining issue, which is one that Ron's going to take up with the Central Square building, and that has to do with the balance that remains in the budget at the end of the fiscal year, right before we exit the building, and just how those funds are distributed. The request is going to be that we can split those amongst the three municipal entities. I don't think that we'll get a whole lot of pushback on that, so it's just something that's not currently in the draft, but we just want to make sure it's very clear that it should be in there. And once I, as I said, I don't think that's going to be a really big problem. The rest of it is really going to, when it comes back to you for your approval and they authorize Ron to sign it, it will be very similar to what you see right now.
I don't foresee there's going to be a lot of funds. I don't know. It's hard to tell at this point in time, but there may not be a lot of funds to be split up. At that point, it's a non-issue. But if there is funds, I think they should be split up between the three entities. But I did bring it. I don't think we're going to need to make a motion to accept it since it is still in the draft form. And those questions have to be, a couple of little issues need to be worked out at the next Central Square meeting. So I don't think we need to vote on this tonight. We will table this till next month to get the final draft. Next on the agenda is the approval for registration for a TOI workshop on March 18th. Everybody should have received the paperwork on that in their packet. It's up in Lyle, so there is no per diem involved in this. It's just the cost of the class. I know Denise Rumchek, our clerk, did show an interest in going. So did Debbie Mason, our assessor, and I believe I would like to go. It is open to the trustees, so I would like to know if any of the trustees would like to go, and John, you too. It's open up to you and the collector. If anybody wants to go to this class, we need to approve it tonight, so I guess what I'm asking for the approval is for the registration for the 9 of us, depending on who all wants to go. I know 3 of us will go for sure.
So we're approving all 9?
Up to 9.
Up to 9. But we
We're
don't
not
have to
gonna
make a
buy it
decision
unless-
tonight.
But if you guys want to go, what I need to know by the end of the week or so I could make send in the forms.
Ren, I'm not gonna be able to go.
What's
I'm
that?
not going.
You won't be able to go? Okay. Dean, would you be interested?
I would consider it, but I'm not for sure. I mean, if you need somebody to make a motion for those 9 seats, I'll make the motion for it.
All right, I do have a motion.
Make it for 8.
Okay, make it
I know
for
for
8.
sure I'm
Okay,
not
sure. Okay,
Great, then.
for 8.
I'll second it.
I got a motion by Dean, a second by Mike. Any questions? The only thing I would ask though is that he's let me know maybe by the end of the week, or I won't be in at the end of the week, at least let my secretaries know so we can get the registration in for everybody that doesn't want to go. Can I have a roll call on that?
Lewandowski?
Yes.
Odisich?
Yes.
Alberico?
Yes.
Boyce?
Yes.
Morel?
Yes.
All right, the other motion is for Topics Day. That is going to be in Springfield. That would take a per diem. I'm not going to ask that for approval tonight. I didn't really want that to be approved tonight since that's not until March. I would like to get everybody's opinion whether they want to go or not, who's going to go. Most of the time, nobody goes to that, so I'm not going to approve it. But it is open to all the trustees, the assessor, my office, Debbie, Denise's. So let me know that also. If anybody is interested in going to Topics Day in Springfield, let me know within the next 2 weeks, and then we will approve that next month if anybody wants to go. I will table that for tonight. All right, next on the agenda, under new business, I just want to bring up some points here tonight before we go into old business. We will be having our budget workshop. Everybody should have gotten a memo in their packet. It's going to be on, the workshop will be Tuesday, February 23rd, 2016, in the supervisor's office. The trustees' budget will be looked at 6:30, assessor at 7, highway commissioner at 7:15, clerk at 7:30, and supervisors at 8. And that'll be with our accountant. We'll be there to go over the budgets with everybody. So I'll ask everybody to have budgets prepared. And I would like a copy of it maybe a couple of days before, if you can get it to me, so I can just go over it and see what we're
Has he sent you anything? He has not sent me anything yet.
What's that?
Has he sent you, like that draft that he always sends? Have you gotten anything from Dave?
I can get that for you, I think.
He hasn't sent me anything.
Okay, no. Usually Denise takes care of that for the highway. I think we may have a blank sheet in.
Well, he normally sends me something direct with predetermined numbers in it.
I would ask you to.
Okay, I'll call.
Yeah, get a hold of him, find out what you need, and, so we can get everything kind of, because the fiscal year is ending up here, so we
Yep.
gotta get our budgets ready for next year. The newsletter, because of the building and all the things I was doing with the building and all that, I'm a little behind on schedule on our newsletter. And ask everybody to get their stuff together within the next 2 weeks of our work so we can get our spring newsletter out. I'd still like to get it out in March like we usually do. It may fall into April this year because we're running a little behind. So, work on the newsletters. Other than that, I have nothing else under new business. And we'll go into old business. Last month we had talked about the...
On the agenda, you have something else under new business? The appointment of an Open Meetings Act designee.
Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped that, right over that. I'm sorry. I don't want to skip that. Appointment of the Open Meetings Act designee. We need to have an Open Meetings Act designee who will take a class, online class, once a year to keep us up to date on any changes with the open meetings laws. So we're up to date, make sure we're not missing anything. We talked about it in the office. I'm going to have, I would like to make the appointment, one of our secretaries, Chris Verche Hall, will be from my office. And we thought it would be good to have somebody on this board also take the class and be up to date. So I would like to make the motion that Chris Verche Hall and Dean Morelli both become our designates.
I'll second that.
Any questions? Can I have a vote?
Yeah, second.
I make the motion.
Oh, you made the motion.
Yeah, I made the motion. He made the second. I'll make the motion. Mike Lewandowski makes the second. Any questions? Can I have a roll call, please?
Lewandowski?
Yes.
Absent?
Yes.
Alberico?
Yes.
Boyce?
Yes.
Morelli?
Yes.
You didn't sound real enthusiastic. Thank you, though. I do appreciate you stepping up for that. Thank you, Mr. Attorney. You're pointing that out, but I skipped right over it. Okay, old business. We did talk about the Southwest Community Band last month, about their possibility of using our building when we get there, and or using it in the interim while we're preparing everything there. Tonight, we do have Jim Voltman here, and Teresa, both. Would you guys like to speak? I know you guys said you guys wanted to come and talk to us, to the board.
What's the easiest way to do this?
You can probably go right up to the podium.
Okay. I wasn't sure how many people would be here, so I brought 6 copies. Basically, what you have is an information packet that sort of highlights the organization. We are a concert band, which is a rhythmic band, unlike a symphony, which typically has strings, although concert bands sometimes have string basses. So, but we've been in this area for some time now. Prior homes were Eagle Rock Community Church, and that's actually how we wound up coming to talk to Ron. Through the Eagle Rock and Parkview people. Prior to that, we were over at First Church of the Nazarene in Lamont, and prior to that, we had a home at Moraine Valley. I don't even know how far back. Terry, part of the reason I brought Terry with is Terry is one of the charter members of the band. So any historic information she can fill in with. But basically, we are structured to be an educational performing organization. So we serve as an outlet for area musicians, not only to practice their craft and get better at it, but also to be able to perform and then perform and educate for the community that we're in. We typically do 5 concerts, 5 indoor concerts a year. We just changed that. That's why the confusion. As well as a number of outdoor concerts during the summer and warmer months. We run a week-long band camp for 6th through 8th graders. We also do a winter band day that is usually like the last Saturday in January, as well as a number of community services such as going into nursing home retirement centers. We partner with Bicentennial Pop and Joliet Junior College and a number of the other local bands, put together a number of ensembles to go out to nursing homes.
This year, Lockport students.
That's right. We do have a number of Lockport students that are part of the organization. Basically, it's open to high school kids and older, and we've got pretty much that range. Our band fluctuates in membership between 60 and 70 members, and we're probably one of the medium to large size bands in the area. The nice thing about Lockport is there aren't really a whole lot that we compete with, and that was one of the things that we looked at when we looked at some of the target communities that might be interested in hosting our band, which, as I said, it's one of the reasons we come to Lockport. If you look, there aren't really a whole lot in this particular area, shy of educational ones like JJC. I'm not sure how deep you want to go into this, or whether Ron, you had a chance to go through this?
Not a whole lot. I did give you some of this information about a month or so ago. I handed these out. Basically, what my thought is, I don't want to sway this board, but I'm being a musician myself. I'm all in favor of hosting this. I know we have an issue with the interim of when we're working in the building as opposed to when we actually move into the building. There might be some issues there. As far as the insurance and stuff like that, and liability of being here without us being in here yet. That's my kind of thought. You might want to ask the board how their feelings are on that, and see what their feelings are in the long run, in the future.
Well, I expressed a little bit of this last month as far as, us having not only band, but other people in there prior to us, ourselves being in there. And I guess prior to us having permits and whether the fire department even allowed us in there to have any type of settlement. So those are issues. I'm like, Harry can answer them, but I don't know how we can go into a building before they have an occupancy to be in that building. I mean, that's the issue, the biggest issue I have, And it's not just the band, it's anybody.
Well, I guess my thought is this: if we were to find a temporary, we've talked about finding a temporary place for 6 months.
Exactly. And I mean, every time we've made a move, there's always been this negotiation as to what works best for both parties. And I think I can give you some references that demonstrate that we're willing and able to work through details to come to a mutual decision. We're open to new ideas. The problem I, as president of the organization, have is time's ticking. We haven't had rehearsals since mid-December, and as I'm sure a number of you participate in volunteer organizations, the longer you wait and become inactive, the less apt you are to pull all those people together. So I do have a sense of urgency in trying to get something together here fairly soon, and I have to tell you that Lockport isn't the only village town that we're working with to come up with something. But I think it's the best fit.
Is the equipment still in?
The equipment is still there. Thank you for allowing us to store it there.
That will become an issue once we start construction, so I'm kind of,
I think we can work around that a little bit, you know. It's, we just met with the architect a few days ago in regards to how we're gonna set up that building, so, I mean, we're in early stages.
very early.
You know, so I don't know as far as where do you go practice from here for the next maybe 9 months, you know, I don't know.
We would look at any building or school or room that you have. You know, we would look at it to see if we could fit it into rehearse.
This is all we have right here.
Yeah,
This is
We've
it.
been looking at it since we've been sitting here. This could work out.
Have you considered, I mean, like, the high school, just close by our building, I mean, at least just a place to practice.
Typically,
It's kind of tough to move in and back and move and back.
and moving's not too bad. I mean, we can, inside of 10 hours, have an entire facility cleaned out. I guess the question I have with schools in general is typically they want some pay for use of the facility. And that's the one, I mean, we're a not-for-profit. We basically play to make our ends meet to pay our bills. Our musical director, actually, the musical director is the only one that's compensated. So we don't really have a whole lot of cash to throw around. And I know when we were looking at some of the venues, they were talking just a rental for a night of $800. We can't afford something like that.
I did suggest a couple of different names. I don't know, maybe we could bring those up again. You know, we talked to Reverend House. I know you had some concerns with that, but I think maybe we could talk to them. And Shiloh Baptist Church is a very big building, and it is, you know, he seemed pretty interested in maybe putting me there for, you know, for the interim, 6 months or something like that, and then once we're
Something
ready
to
to go.
consider. The problem I have with Shiloh is two things. One is it's further away from our core, actually going into the Parkview, the old Parkview facility is starting to stretch the limits of the existing membership. I mean, obviously, as we move, we'd wind up getting new members more from the area. But the other concern is, in general, the neighborhood, and the fact that I'd be asking minors and women to go walking around in like 9:30 at night with $1,000 instruments.
Well, what I would do at this point is keep working around and see if you come up with something. You know, go from there.
We can get something worked out for the interim and then get you when we get into the building. I mean, I don't know, I can't speak for the board, but I think the board feels that once we're in the building and we have the room and everything's done, we could probably host the band, and it'd be wonderful to have the band play concerts there for our seniors and for our residents.
And as you're going through this process, please feel free to reach out to us and give feedback in regards to how to set it up. We put together in the packet a list of home requirements that basically lay out what we need for a venue, what we need for storage and library space. So we try to put some numbers around that to make it a little easier to understand what kind of space you're looking for.
Well, I'm going to keep on working with you to try to find a temporary spot. And, you know, I wish I had somewhere right now I could bring you to.
How often do you guys practice?
Weekly, every Tuesday night.
Just once a week?
Yes, once a week.
How many hours?
7:30 to 9:30 typically.
In the facility, you need to store the equipment there as well? In between?
Actually, that's debatable. If it is a school like the high school, then we can use their percussion equipment. and we don't have to bring anything.
The only other consideration for the board would be, I think, at some point, we're going to have to go back to the electors concerning the ability to rent out the building in general. Put that out for a vote to them. Just for situations just like this. I mean, it can be as general as simply saying to the electors, under whatever circumstances there are, can we rent the township, rent out any part of our building? And then, so you don't have to go to the electors every time. It's something, standardized agreement, here's what the agreement is, so everybody understands what the lease is going to look like. But you really have to let it to the electors to ask for their permission to do it together. I want to mention that because we probably, if we're going to do that, that's got to be in whatever timeline we're.
In that timeline, the fit could come out.
Because that could be relatively soon.
All right. Like I said, I'll continue to work with you. We'll keep the conversation open. We'll see what we can come up with.
Are you still looking at 6 months from now, or is it getting longer?
You know, like I said, we're just
It's gonna be a while.
Just
Yeah.
getting the drawings and trying to figure out how the whole building's gonna lay out.
Right.
You know, we're not even sure how much
You can do it in
construction
6
will be.
months, right.
I know we have a budget. We're budgeted to only do what we can do, and hopefully it's gonna fall within our budget. And we're gonna have a real nice building, and I'm thinking if everything falls in place, I'm looking for September, is what I'm looking for. But, you know, it's way early for me to predict. We did talk to the architects. I think once they get the drawings somewhat put together, figure out what we're looking for, then they will be able to give us a better timeline, since they're in that trade of figuring it out. But, you know, we have to take time to draw the building, we have to take time to bid out the process, the bidding process, and the actual construction. So I'm optimistic September, but we don't know. But I'd like to thank you guys for coming.
No, thank you for your time and consideration. Appreciate it.
All right.
So,
With that, I'm going to give you a little update on the building, what's been going on there. We did approve last month the possibility of hiring a maintenance man for the building. I interviewed 3 people. I did kind of decide that I think the best person is a Lockport resident here who just wants to work part-time. He's going to come in at a low price. He's going to work 3 days a week, 3 hours Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. In the interim until we get to the move-in. Just somebody to keep up with the restrooms, keep up with the water, keep up with the systems, understand, start learning the heating systems and all the things that have to be watched. So I'm going to bring that guy on probably Wednesday. Other than that, what else did I have? The security systems, I did have that finally hooked up. That had to be done through wireless internet since we have no phone lines there yet. The system is up and running now, where it will contact the police and everything. Before it was just an alarm that just make a lot of noise. You know, scare the people. Now it's actually hooked up. I got a system that I can turn it on and off with my phone. So even if I'm away from the building and I notice if something goes, you know, I can check to see, make sure the building's locked. We did do that about a week ago. We did have some issues with when it just got turned on, the alarm was sounding sometimes. Actually, Dean, I want to thank you for running out the one day that I couldn't make it out there real quick. It was all false alarms. Nobody is robbing the place, but we do have that all taken care of. The security system, it works on fobs. Everybody has fobs. The church, I guess, had dozens and dozens of fobs that were handed out for those doors. but through the computer system, we can shut them all off. The only fobs that are working now are, there's 4 of them that are handed out to myself and Denise and Debbie and Michelle. And I believe the church still has 3 working fobs, which is the pastor, the main maintenance facility guy who's still cleaning up the building, and the music department guy who's still getting the equipment out of the building. And those, every time they go in the building, I can read it on the computer, so I know when they're not in the building. So, and there's really nothing in that building of ours yet anyway for them to take. It's all their stuff. So I feel confident with that. The only other issue we have, and I'm going to go ahead and maybe take care of this tomorrow, hopefully, is I'm going to have all the keys. There are keys to the doors too that were handed out to all the church, that needed to get in. I'm going to have the keys changed, the locks changed. If they use those keys, it's going to set off the alarm anyway, but they can get in. But we might as well change it. We don't want them to have our keys. So I will do that. As far as going into the city, I did put in all the paperwork for the being annexed into the city of Lockport. Gary, you kind of helped put that together, and you have a copy of it. I believe you're still working with Tom on the annexation agreement.
Yes, the most important part for the board, I think, is there is no requirement in our annexation agreement that we have to immediately hook up water and sewer. Water and sewer is readily available to the site, but unless and until our sewer and septic system fail, the township does have to incur that cost of hooking on. Typically, when you have a new annexation, that's one of the things that the municipality will look at first, is to see if there's a way to hook up to their system. So that could have been potentially an expensive item, which we don't have to spend those funds right now.
I did receive an email the other day that says we will hook up to the Farrell Road side of the property, not the back by Dale Gardens.
When do we decide to?
Right.
Yeah,
But
so that's news to me too, I didn't know that.
No, we don't have to do that.
So we can next into the city, keep our well and septic until we get
Yes.
it. I did have a conversation with Jim Naylor from the food pantry. I wanted to know if they were interested at all with it, what their opinion was about where we could go, because we always thought that might be a good fit with us. Their board is going to walk through the building tomorrow with me. I'll show them what's there to offer. I'm not making any promises without without this board's approval, but I have to know what they're thinking before I can tell you what we're thinking, So we're going to walk through the building tomorrow and get the conversation going. I also did talk to Julie Carco from the Meals on Wheels program. She did walk through the building with me, and she thinks it's a wonderful fit. We'll see how it works out. I would like to see that happen someday when we get into the building, the meals.
Ron, I have a suggestion. How about sometime in March, we have a workshop on this whole project?
Sure.
That's before we get ahead of ourselves. That we should look into everything. Discussion of the building and who may use it, who we lease it to, who we rent it to. So I would suggest that.
All right. I'll set that up. We did have that meeting with Dewberry, our assessor, and our clerk, and myself, and our trustee was there, John. We did talk preliminary ideas of how we're going to lay out our offices. There are some issues we're going to have to work through, but we'll get through those, and hopefully we'll get those drawings started here pretty quick. I did order a couple of temporary signs to go. Right now there's some plywood signs up there that are just bare bare pieces of plywood. I would like to thank the District Council 14, who's volunteering to make those signs for us for free. So they're going to be banners. We'll just tack them up there for a while until we get our real sign up there. The real sign won't come until we decide what we want on it, and we got to go through the ordinances of Lockport and figure out how it's going to lay out. It's even been suggested, you know, hey, who knows, maybe we can get a tank from the area donated, put on the property in the front, along with our flagpoles and our signs. So, but all that has to, you know, that's down the road. But anyway, I do want to, I appreciate District Council 14 Painters Union for their donation of the 2 temporary banners. All right, other than that, that's all I have for old business. Any citizens wishing to address the board tonight?
Sure.
All right, please come up to the podium, state your name and address.
My name is George Nickel, 1492 Ludington, and that's in Grand Haven, down in Rockport, Vermont. I have a copy of the accounts payables for the rent and things like that, the assistance. And I noticed that they're all grouped together. It's 4,000, 5,000, here, there, that kind of thing, okay? There's no breakdown of how many people we helped. Is it one person or 200 people? That kind of thing. I think that as a citizen and want to know where the money's going, we could at least have that. And I'll tell you why, because I did 25 years work with St. Vincent de Paul from the Catholic Church, and we had a guy that kept saying that he was helping people and helping people and writing checks, and he wound up stealing $385,000 from us because we didn't check it out enough. So I'm saying to you that I don't know who you're giving that money to, but I think that the public, it's public money, deserves the right to know that it's not going to somebody's brother-in-law or cousin or something. Okay? So how many people did you help with all this rent? I went through the thing, it's here and here and here and here, all over the place. So we have, I think I have a right in this as a citizen to know how many people are you helping? Okay? That kind of thing, okay? We can average it out and say it's $200 a person, or, you know, it's $4,000 a person for that matter. So I think that that's what you want to do. Secondarily, I had a little talk around before the meeting started, and I don't understand why, one of the reasons that you're buying this building, and want to move with storage space for records. Well, I asked Ron, when are you going to digitize these records? Well, he said it's up to the clerk. So I asked the clerk, when are we going to digitize those records? There's no reason to keep 50-year-old records on paper. Not a reason at all. Just, as I understand it, the state will come out and do it for you. So we're going to build got the new building, we're going to make a big storage space to store stuff that we don't really need. Does you all understand what I'm saying, or not? Or I'm just talking to a blank wall here.
I understand.
So I would like to know to get this thing into the 20th century, when are we going to digitize those records?
Clerk isn't here tonight. I'm not going to, this is your time to talk. I don't want to interrupt you.
I'm sorry?
It's your time to
No,
talk.
I'm asking a question. No, what, is it in the plans, or what? We're gonna wait until the big storage area in the new building?
There are laws that say we have to have a hard copy of the minutes.
I'm sorry?
There are laws that say we have to have a hard copy of the minutes.
I'd like to see that law, because I can't believe that the IRS, as an example, will keep paper records of various tax returns since 1900 or something. I mean, this is a new world here now. So in any case, you can't make progress. There's always some excuse that we can't do this or we can't do that. Okay, this is not brain surgery or something that you've got to go to 18 years of college. It's putting them on a computer somewhere and you back the computer up every day. We have it at Grand Haven, we set up a network, they type in all the records that we need to type in, and it's backed up every night, and on another server actually, or now it's in the cloud, so you don't have to worry about keeping any records. So I appreciate you guys getting into the 20th century here. Don't worry about a new building, worry about getting these records that are still paper, and what happens if they burn? Then you don't have anything. Well, that's not a good gesture, because it's our records too.
We do keep them in a fireproof vault.
And now you guys build another one now, right? That you don't need. Thank you.
Thank you, I appreciate your comments. As they are. All right. I want to bring up a couple of meetings and correspondences. I've talked about the meetings, workshops we're going to have. I did receive a couple of letters from the Army Corps of Engineers. Basically, they're talking about the work that's going to be done on the Brandon Road locks and dam, but they send me the letters because we are on the river. You know, the river does go through Lockport Township, so I get these letters, and I want to bring them up to your attention. They're basically, we're doing phase 1 architectural surveys on 33 acres near the Brandon Road locks. Other than that, I have nothing else tonight on the agenda. I would ask for a recess until February 22nd, 2016 at 7 o'clock in the supervisor's office in 310.
So moved.
I have a motion by John Bodsich,
Second.
second by Barbara Boyce. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you very much, everybody. I hope you all have a wonderful